Sweet. Things are happening. Things are live. All is right with the world. I assume we're actually
I'll tell you in a second.
broadcasting.
Check 1, 2. Do I hear me talking?
Do I hear me talking? Or do you hear me talking? By you, I mean Jim, not you.
Yeah,
Jeff.
I hear everybody. Although, Mike,
Yes?
you through stream sounds like a different device than you through Discord.
Interesting.
You through stream sounds muffled and far away, whereas you through Discord sounds nice and headsetty.
Okay. Let me see if I can resolve that. I don't know how I would solve that.
Just saying.
Yep. No, you're right. Going through all the No, that's right. Hmm. Ah.
That should solve that. Bueller. Is that better?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Moving on. Alright. And cut. Hello, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome to another episode of Mike's campaign of Sugoi Sauce. As always, we have Babbage, Jim the Gnome Tinker.
Howdy.
We have you, aka Jeff, the Furblog Druid, not to be confused with pronouns. Or, not pronouns, what's the word?
Yeah, that's a pronoun.
It's a pronoun? Yes, pronouns in it. Candidate Stormblessed, Zach, the High Elf Monk. So excited to be here. And then the Blessed Bellarmine, Deacon Sylvia, our human knowledge cleric. When we last had an episode of this, it was pretty much all roleplay. Everybody was just going around town trying to get stuff done. The group is basically busy cashing in on these fancy little magical gemstone thingamabobbers, magical crystals that they found in a cave in a sort of a pseudo side quest, but discovered a dragon along the way that gave them some hints about what they needed to do. But yeah, they've been mostly just been turning in crystals to turn into tattoos and potions and enchantments. So mostly roleplay session. But we rejoin them, having basically I'm basically fast forwarding the day to the evening time frame so that everybody has acquired their tattoos, unless you really wants to roleplay how it goes with Julie with regards to getting your tattoo through your fur. I give you the option.
Nah.
Nah, he says. Totally understandable. Alright, so evening. Was there anything else specifically you all wanted to do? Nobody was getting any enchanted items for a while. I think you all got the potions you wanted from Quail, aka the doctor, the plague doctor mask individual. Julie.
And we have some. And we have some weapons being enchanted.
Yes, you will not get those back for several days though, because you had 3 different items. I think you were enchanting between a dagger and a crossbow, and this is why I write these
How
things
fast
down.
did you forward?
Actually, to that point, one of you agreed. You agreed to take the night watch on the northern gate, as the purpose of for the purposes of allowing Mercury, aka your local enchantress, to work through the enchantments everybody's going for. I need to go up and chat and double check what everybody was going for. Let's see. Goodness, what did we say? Dagger, crossbow, staff, armor. Indubitably. Let's see. So yeah, there were 4. It's okay. I think there were 4 enchantments total, so it was going to take like 2 days to do all that. But for the purposes of this, if you could all take some time to update your character sheets with your respective tattoos, now would be the time to do it.
Pretty sure I've done that.
Yeah, actually, I think I did that to everybody's. I may have done that to people's character sheets already. I think I distinctly remember adding Coiling
I'll
grasp to yours. Yep. Zach, alright, you're good there.
Yep, I have it here.
I'll check yours, Dad. I'll make sure
Yeah, I don't see it.
Yes, I have mine.
I got you covered.
I got a ghost step. That's it.
Okay, he's adding that.
I'm good. You added ghostly form, ghost step tattoo to mine.
Cool. Okay. Excellent.
But you gotta remember what Dad took.
The tentacles.
Ah, yes. Oh, I think I added them as like an attack. Because I vaguely remember doing that now.
Yeah, grasping tendrils is
Yep.
there.
That is the tattoo. Wonderful.
All right. You want it as an attack, but we have to run the other one as a ghost step.
All right.
Yeah, Ghost Step is just a feature, and it's already on your character sheet as a resource.
I leave it to each of you how you
And
want.
we got some potions too, didn't we?
You did, yes. From the, let's see, we remember you had glass etched ones with basically a flame. I mean, they were very clearly labeled between fire breathing, climbing, heroism, and I think someone else wanted oil of Sabrinas. But yes, you have the 4 potions. I have not specifically added them to your inventory myself, but they do exist.
I think I had one extra already potion of heroism I never used.
I'd believe that. Oh yeah, you can see in the, let's see, all the tattoos on your skin. Yep, okay. So we'll say, I believe the deacon. We'll say the deacon was last, since you now needs to be on the northern gate, manning a watch for Mercury. Yes, very good. So we'll put you up there for now. Ooh, hold on, let me drop you over there. Where's my...
Where do the potions show up?
We can throw them in your inventory fairly easily.
Yeah, I need to know which ones you got.
I got another heroism and then 2 others,
Here,
I think.
put them back in the bottom of chat.
Got it. I'll take care of them.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Managing DMing things. There it is. All right.
These were all potions Dad got?
One of them someone else asked for.
I got a climbing.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he got, so Zach got the climbing and your dad got the other 3.
Now,
Got it.
crossbow bolts, there's 13 out of 20. Is that something that refreshes, or do I have to buy them somewhere?
For the purposes, for simplicity's sake, I'll just say that every time you come into town, you can restock them.
Oh, bet.
So yeah, just to simplify my life. I want everybody else's.
Of course he gets the 2 that aren't listed.
Oh, really? Go figure. Kanan, what would you have been doing when you weren't getting your tattoo?
Hanging out at the pub, or maybe hanging out with. Actually, no, I wasn't allowed to hang out with Babbage because he was in the warehouse, right?
Oh, he came back out and got his tattoo. I mean, you're right. He probably would have gone back there and gone putting things together.
So yeah, I would have been. Where was you during this time? Would I have been hanging with him or at the pub?
Well, the 2 of you had hijinks involving bees last time. Specifically, fairy fire and going after a very specific bee, and Julie being very confused. That's right, because Babbage got a second. Was the second one.
That's right. I tried to help him in the mage hand.
Yes, the bee chasing fiasco. So
there's a shrine or a cathedral or something here, right?
there is a small shrine to. I don't have my own pantheon memorized. Stand by. No. Stuff scattered in too many places. Oh, I know I threw that into the roll 20, but there is a shrine to
I think
Shitali,
it's close.
or the god of luck, namely just to the right of the manor in the northwest corner of town. Here let me label it accordingly. Yeah. Oh, that is a terrible color. Where did I put it? Shitali.
Is that something you can go inside of, or is it just a outdoor thing?
No, it's an out. It's more like a. No, it's an. You can think of it sort of like a Shinto shrine that just sort of is outdoors.
All right.
There we go. And you can find details about the various pantheon in the journal, aka newspaper tab, if you were so inclined. I think everybody can see that. So Kanadin, as the evening wears on, I'm just gonna say you're wandering around town. Or maybe you're going back to check on folks after leaving the pub, and you do notice that Cognin and Whisper you basically see them walking in from the southern end of town. Cognin seeming to have collected a very large bag of truffles and mushrooms, as well as various other knickknacks. Looks like a pile of herbs and stuff coming from the south end of town. Headed back to his tower. Cool.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Nice. Am I in the? So I noticed them coming in from the south. I am where I am on the map. Oh, there we are.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you basically in front. I'm not gonna. Yeah, you're where you are, and let's see.
Put me here.
Oh, he's on the wrong layer. Do I have a whisper token?
It's nice having an extra DM, eh?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that immensely. Where is?
Just as an aside, Mike, did you happen to add +1 to my unarmed strike because of the tattoo? If not, I can add it right now.
I believe I did. Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, good. I'm glad I asked then before I just added another one.
Yep. Yeah, it should already be there. There we go. You're supposed to be on the map layer. Go to the map layer. Okay. Babbage, where would you have gone after you had done with your tattoo?
Once Babbage was done with his tattoo, probably would be seeking Cognin to discuss our findings of the mana mine.
Okay. When you had returned to town initially, and you went to go looking for Cognin, River had told you he had been out about.
Right.
So hence why he is now returning to town.
That's why we side quested on all these tattoos, because Cognan wasn't around, so we were
Yes.
killing time effectively.
Mm-hmm.
So then at that point, if I saw him coming back into town, I'd run right to Babbage and just let him know, hey, Cognan's back. And if I ran into anybody on the way, I would let them know as well. But anybody, I mean, our party.
Oh, that's right, Bellarmine. You said you were in the library, as I recall, actually, at the end of last session.
Yeah, he was looking for Mithril in a book.
Yes.
So I was reading books to find out where you could get mithril.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That makes more. Yes, perfect. Yeah. Okay. If you could read, actually, Bellarmine, if you could roll me an investigation check.
Sure.
Say, well, yeah. I was gonna say DC 15. Wonderful. Okay, you find a book on what's basically like the history of like mining in the world of Icanus or Icanus, however I want to pronounce this. Unfortunately, what in the world? Why is that map all screwy? There we go. Unfortunately, the only known place that Mithril was ever mined was essentially in the mountains north of Dawnvale, which, for the sake of all you, I'm going to throw you on this map, including where'd Jeff go?
I'm on the gate map.
Right. I have too many maps. There you are. So yeah, basically you know that there's mines that are essentially in these mountains up here north of Dawnvale, but beyond that, there's no reference to Mithril ever being mined anywhere in relation to the island you are currently on. So unfortunately, you're though fruitful in finding out where Mithril actually would be, none so much according to any of the books you can find on the island itself. At least no natural sources. Okay. Canadin, you find Babbage. All right. Well, Babbage, would you be back in the warehouse, or would you be back in the basement of the tower?
After getting my tattoo, knowing that there were no weapon enhancements that I wanted and no potions that I was interested in, I would probably have just started looking for Cognan. So I would probably be headed toward the tower.
Okay. In that case, I will say that basically you four reach each other just outside the tower itself. So Canadin and Babbage, you have found Cognan, and it is, for the purposes of time, it is evening twilight at this point.
Ah, Cognan, just the man I was looking for.
No, we're just coming to tell you he's here, but look who found us.
Hey, please let me get inside and dump all of my supplies. Excuse me. Glad to see you back safe.
Certainly. Let us give you a hand.
Yeah, and I grab a bag, like a satchel, just to help him out.
Ah,
The
very
last
good.
leg of this journey here.
Okay. All right, we'll put everybody where they're supposed. Oh, jeez. You're in the library in your chair.
That's where I was gonna go.
let's see. You. Oh, what? Sorry, DM's having technical difficulties here.
I'll allow it.
There we go. River. Okay.
Where's the river person who gets upset?
Who is she?
Where is she?
Oh, the last time you saw her, actually, you haven't seen her. I take that back. She'd actually be over here. You would have come in the kitchen when you re-entered the tower and then gone up to the library, and you would not have. You don't know where she is.
Despite the fact we rescued her, she's still been out of shape.
I mean, I think there's a good reason.
You recall that she was convinced that she could have easily rescued herself, especially after she provided you with a journal that you have that basically told you a whole bunch of platinum points.
Yeah.
Let's see. Before we come to the tower, let's just, for my sake of everybody who's watching, we're going to pluck everybody.
Our favorite book of the Bible's back.
You. As you wander up to the tower, or as you wander up to your watch, you basically you manage to come up basically at the same time as Grimbeard, who appear to be, oops, let me see. I'm gonna move. Oh, you two are actually on. There we go. As you seem to be taking over the watch for Dimitri and Tiberius. Hello. What? Wait. What are you doing here, you big furball?
You have pledged himself to the watch for one night.
Grimbeard just sort of. Hey. Well, that's great, man. That's wonderful. That's lovely. I'm glad you're taking part in the town. That's really good. That's good. That's good. Do you have any idea what we're supposed to do and stuff? I mean, I think it is pretty obvious.
You think this is utilitarian? His presence, watchful. You has an owl named who? You and who?
Who then proceeds to fly around. That's all right. Cool. Great. Well, we're hungry, so we're gonna get on our way. Thanks. And they manage to. They head on down into the tower. How do you intend to pass the time?
Night.
Say again?
What is the time?
It is evening twilight right now.
Perfect. Usual nightly routine. Consulting the star map, preparing spells for the next day. I let Who rest on my arm, and I kind of brush some of his feathers and make sure he's silent and deadly. Mostly silent. He doesn't really attack anything. But yeah, just communing with nature as much as possible from the top of a bunch of dead trees.
Very good. Do you attempt to make conversation with Grimbeard at all? Because he seems very content just being quiet.
No?
Alright, fair.
I mean, if anything, it would be like I would try to emulate his speech pattern and say a word, maybe two at a time, and then he would say a word back, and then 5-10 minutes goes by, and beans.
You're having like a King of the Hill fence post conversation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Hey.
Is he Boomhauer or who's he? That's the question.
I see him as a Dale. No, he doesn't talk enough.
Yeah. So yeah, you proceed to have You proceed to make an entire sentence over the course of like 2 hours.
Yes.
Wonderful. All right.
This is my kind of charisma-based interaction.
Well, okay. Are you trying? That's an interesting question, actually. Are you trying to get him to just be like? Are you just trying to be professional? Are you trying to get him to like you? Like, what is your intent?
I've never gotten anyone to try to like me.
Fair.
You mean successful, or you never even attempted?
Does not compute. That's my answer. I'm trying to be professional.
Okay.
I actually do feel a little bad about the whole Julie thing, and I don't know what Grimbeard knows, so it's kind of awkward. But he's an awkward, stumpy little dwarf, so there's a lot of noise to signal. So yeah, that's why we're not talking too much. And besides, it's I'm on watch. It's not chatty Cathy hour up there. Even if Demetrius and Tiberius were still there.
Fair enough.
But Grimbeard doesn't ask follow-up questions. You ask him a question and he grunts or says one thing, and so there's no opportunity to mix up pronouns and proper names. So
Okay, I do want to have one. I will have one interaction here before you move back over to Cogden's tower. Grimbeard, after seeing you sort of tend to who, sort of points at you and goes, "You. Who? I?
I.
You then see him. He's been carrying a helmet with him on his hip. You see him sort of place it down on a table that's up on the watchtower. He seems to tinker with it a little bit, and then the helmet that had like these adorned wings sort of like going back of the sides of them, the wings actually fold out, and the helmet starts to fly. To which he points at.
Is this like
he points at the owl and goes, "Who? Helm."
So this is like the mechanical owl almost from Jason and the Argonauts.
Kinda, yeah. Like it appears to you to be entirely mechanical. Like there's nothing. You're not sure if there's anything magical about it at all. It's certainly nothing you've recognized before. But like the helmet starts to like float around. It initially goes onto his head, and then he taps it twice, and then it sort of picks up, and then starts to fly like around you, like around who.
All right. Well, I tell who to mirror its movements and create a swirling vortex.
You then, I mean, it's not very far off the ground. It's maybe like 5-6 feet. It doesn't stay very much far his head. But now that the two of you now have this like spinning helmet and owl that are now going, sort of seeming to compete for like how hard they can turn. With
who's got this?
Yeah, who's more gliding, whereas the helm's wings seem to be just swinging frantically. To the point where this, after going off like for a minute or two, it like comes back down to Grimbeard, who then takes out this little like oil pan thing and sort of like squeaks into it. So you have some mild form of entertainment for a little while. All right. Back to the tower. Where's... Whisper doesn't come back into the tower once that she's basically seen that the rest of you have gotten the rest of his things, and sort of hands off with the bag of other vegetables and other random items.
Wait, Whisper was there?
Whisper walked in with him, yes.
Oh, I missed that detail entirely.
Yes, Whisper walked into town with him, and then as he basically got to the entrance to the tower, she says adieu and turns off and turns away in her
Interesting.
angsty teenage self.
Do you mean River?
No. Hold on.
I didn't know Whisper was a teenager. I thought Whisper was just an owl person.
I mean, she was an owl person with an extraordinary attitude.
I didn't catch that.
Well, it may have been. It's been a while.
Personality.
We haven't seen her in a long time.
Okay, that's fair.
She had little tolerance for you all, but she and River are both.
I think I just read that as being an outsider and not being an adolescent.
Ah, yes. Okay. Fair enough. But I said again, it's been a while.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, but anyway, she leaves you at the tower. Cognan then proceeds to take out his bag of mostly like small, large truffles, various different mushrooms. Some like you think they're just like some sticks, random leaves, herbs. Some of it you recognize as stuff you've seen in spices before. Others just like one literally just seems like a pile of dirt that he just sort of like rummages up, puts into like a glass vial, and he seems to just start organizing around the kitchen lab. And Bellarmine, you hear this commotion downstairs.
So, Cognan, when you have a moment, I'd love to talk about what we've just encountered. I don't know if you remember, we've kind of been away on a bit of a journey.
Yes.
A whole bunch of cool stuff.
Right. Please, you can talk while I'm working. You have to understand some of these truffles need to be used for some of my ingredients very quickly soon after they have been plucked from the ground. So if you'll pardon me a moment, and he moves over.
Sure. We wouldn't want anything to taste bad. So
Starts basically putting together like a stew over here in the corner. There's like putting the on the fire.
First and foremost, I think it's important to explain that we did, in fact, traverse across the gap between islands.
Really? That's extraordinarily dangerous.
The
We were
travel
not prepared.
The travel itself was not too bad, to be honest. But upon landing, it was terrible. It was bad.
Bad how? Nobody's actually made it across there and survived, so we don't really know what's over there.
Well, where do we start? There's giant yetis. I believe there was something in the sky that we were fighting. Were they wyverns? I can't even remember. It's been so long. That's Jim asking Mike.
Yes, it was wyverns. No, it was griffins? No, it was... You had wyverns in your campaign. I had griffins in mine. And you never really fought them. I think you just avoided them completely.
They were terrible, horrible griffins, which we avoided fighting because I thought that would kill us.
Yes, that sounds terrible.
There were yetis in caves. There were, I think, giant wolves, ice wolves. We eventually made it to what I believe was marked as the mana mine on a map that we were provided. But it's not so much.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't really go all the way there because there's like a giant pillar of energy radiating through the center of existence.
At that, he stops with like a metal spoon in the pot.
Come again?
I made a sketch, which I did.
Yes.
And
so I show him the sketch. Okay. He ponders at it, looks at it for a minute. Hand still sort of like around the stew. Takes the metal... As he's doing this, he takes the metal spoon out. The top of it is just gone. Like it's melted off entirely. To which he just sort of like...
cartoons, like stirring up in the spoon.
He just sort of like tosses it. He just sort of like tosses it aside. Grabs like one vial of you have no idea what, some sort of orange thing, and pours it in. The bubbling seems to subside for a moment, but then slowly comes back up. The entire color of the stew's changed at this point. But it continues to go. Or it continues to boil. Smells assault your senses that are just foreign to you. You don't know if it's a combination of like, is that tomato? No. Skunk? What?
It's a weird concept because the scents themselves are foreign, but the concept of experiencing completely foreign scents is now commonplace in this location.
Fair. So yeah, that's a fair point. Like to you, it's not all that surprising that it's weird, but at the same time, it's still like, okay, that's bizarre. And there is an uncomfortable sizzling seeming to come from the bottom of the pot at this point, but Cognan does not. Cognan seems unbothered and also is sort of focused on your sketch at the moment.
I don't know what to make of this.
Yeah, we got a little it was a little curious, and we felt a bit unprepared and decided to go home. Avoiding griffins, we didn't fly back across, but we actually traversed over the bridge through Vineholm, down into.
So the mine's a giant pillar of energy, but Vineholm is still there.
To the best of our knowledge, we didn't so much traverse it as we did hide and run from our lives from a pack of bandits.
Bandits?
Maybe bandits is the wrong word. They were clearly agents of, what is his name, Revik?
Oh my. Wait, Revit? You've seen evidence of...
Oh, yeah. So, real fun story. We also had a shared hallucination in a dream form, where we woke up and had all experienced following Revik into a cave where I believe we met God.
Then again, it might have been something we ate that night.
I'm pretty sure that was Avra, the mold maker.
The entity that
Unless
you
I misunderstood my pantheon.
All right. So your character would know that the creature that you saw,
or it was Vatek.
Yes, the creature you saw was more in line with Vatek. Avra,
okay.
Avra doesn't have a physical form, so to speak, that's ever been represented. But like the idea of like this giant snake winged thing is far more in line with imagery you know from Vatek.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, so we all had this shared hallucination. We talked about it in the morning, and it was all identical. We were clearly under some sort of influence, possession. I'm not really sure. Excuse me.
It was very strange indeed, and as a result, I think we experienced some connection to the origins of the cult of Revik.
Yeah, he's kind of...
So that was fun. How was your Tuesday?
He has you hold that thought. You realize that, like, he's sort of stunned. The pot is actually starting to leak out the bottom at this point. Like, something is clearly corroding through the metal. So you see him, like, quickly do, like, a mending cantrip to try to, like, to basically patch it. Also does another cantrip to basically kill the heat. So the fire stops and the stew sort of starts dying down. Which is at this point it's almost like there's like this weird grayish layer of like oil sitting on top of it. You think it's not really sure what it is. Yeah, no, he sort of tends to that quickly, and then. Yeah, just kind of sits down.
Okay, that's a lot.
It was a lot. We were almost dead a couple times, but clearly we're fine.
Yes.
It was close.
And you may be happy to find that we did uncover a nice cache of mana crystals.
Really? Where would
it almost cost us our life several times, but there they are.
You seem like you have come very close to death on numerous occasions.
It's becoming more commonplace than I ever... Excuse me.
It's becoming more commonplace than I ever expected it would be.
Did everybody make it? Is your Furblog friend survive?
Oh yeah, he's feeling right spry. I think he's on watch tonight.
How? Surprised him allowed that to happen? Odd.
Well, you and him are... I mean, him and you... Not you, but you and him... Not him, but him, and you, but not you.
With who?
I guess they had a conversation.
Very good. Okay. Yeah, no, that's a lot of information.
Also, check out this cool fur coat. I sport my Yeti fur coat.
You had flabbergasted me so much with all of the other information. I had not noticed a very fine Yeti Yeti meat. Oh, there's an idea. What can I do with recipes there? I digress. At that, he just kind of like plucks a fur off of your coat, eyes the pot,
I'll allow it.
and like drops it in. Oh, I took the heat away. Of course, nothing happens, and he's like, like he just like a small amount of disappointment across his face. Like, no, I took the heat off. That's why. Wow. Okay, this is a lot to process. Let me.
It sure was.
Yes. And that's everything? Because it sounds like you went through a lot.
Well, let me see if there's anything else that I remember.
He kind of looks at you, Canadian.
You got it pretty good, man. Did you tell him the part about almost dying all those times?
I did mention near death multiple times.
Yep, definitely got that.
Bellarmine, are you just sort of eavesdropping at this from the top of the stairs, or do you tend to come down?
I'm investigating this
I did roll a 23 history.
piece of parchment that's underneath the leg of this table.
Um,
All maps are canon.
So it looks like a parchment, but it's actually like a small book that's clearly being used to balance the table. Are you taking it out from underneath and?
Right. I've read so many books in here that I don't want to miss this one.
Ah, very good. I mean, it's not like you've read the entire library. You've just been scouring for things you've been specifically looking for. This particular book seems to be as you pick it up, happens to be a guide to various different spas and saunas and heating pools and onsens that you can find in the Southern Isles.
And I shove it right back under the leg.
Okay.
Oh, that's right up your alley, Dad.
Now I'm disappointed and I sit back down and start reading the other books.
Back to his chair. Okay. Very good. So yeah, Cognan.
Okay, so the last time we saw you, you were trying to get various different. You thought that you were going to the mine to understand if you could try to find one of the 4 artifacts mentioned in the journal, if I recall. I'm guessing you didn't find one of those?
Yeah, we got a little sidetracked. You know, what with nearly dying and stuff.
And
I don't
communing with the dragon.
believe we found. I don't believe we found one of the artifacts. Honestly, I know it's only been like 2 days, but it feels like a lifetime.
No, you guys had enough long rests in there. It was probably like 4 or 5 days, but you also communed with the dragon.
Oh yeah. I forgot. I remember now because I was just thinking about it. But at the end of the cave that we were in, we were running from Yetis. We were in a cave. There were these glyphs on the floor. When we stepped on them, they were teleporting us around. This, of course, was of course after we went past the sand dunes and killed a bunch of giant worms that tried to murder us. But once we were done with that, we did almost ride one. The sleeper was almost awoken, and then we did encounter at the end of this cave like a weird gelatinous ethereal glass lens dome thing that had some strange properties and did not behave in any manner of physics that I'm aware of. But I think it was more of a portal to a prison within which resided a dragon of sorts, a crystalline dragon world creator type being that has currently been imprisoned. And they told us that we needed to save them, but I don't know where they actually are, because if you go to the other side of that lens, there was nothing there. Also, I think somebody broke it.
Hold on. I'm guessing none of you wrote down the guy's name.
I'm trying to remember.
Where?
Signar.
No.
No.
No? Oh, that's an old one.
That's not.
Sorry. That's an old note. Going through my
I
notes
kind of
here.
remember where that one was. Did I delete it? That would make me sad. Where did this guy go?
I mean, you are the DM, so
I don't remember that we ever got its name.
You may not. I know.
Feels
I
like the kind of thing I would have written down.
Fair. I think I deleted him because you guys shattered the thing, and I didn't. That makes me sad. I should have just put him on a different layer. Ah, well. I'll
watch
have to
the
go back to the
stream.
recording.
Watch the
Yeah,
stream.
let's go back to the. Thankfully, we have all this stuff recorded, or at least hopefully that one was recorded. Successfully. Dang it. That's too much.
See, now you sound like King of the Hill. Dang it, Bobby.
Dang it, Bobby.
Can you scroll through chat history? Did you link anything in DM
Probably
chat?
not, since
I don't
I've
know.
probably it's fine. It's the name itself is not super important. We'll say you remember the name. We'll say Cogniton goes. I have no idea what that is.
All right, cool.
Ultimately, is the bottom line there.
Okay. This makes me... So, what... Let me see that sketch again.
Takes a
Oh,
look
sure.
Takes a look at the sketch. Ponders for a moment.
It's quite ponderous. I agree.
Hands you back the sketch.
I wonder... let me check something.
You see him run upstairs. Bellarmine, you hear Cognin basically come up through the library staircase, but then like continue on into the next floor, the top of the tower. Disappears up there for a bit.
Curiosity gets the better of me, and I dip my finger in the sludge that's corroded through the pot, and I just touch it to my tongue.
Kanadin, you see Babbage do this, and then he goes.
Can I slap his hand away before he touches his mouth with it?
You can try. Roll me. Let's see. You're trying to stop him from just like putting it in his mouth.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, he will be successful. I am not good at fending off attacks from
You're not like resisting. So like, yeah, you go to put this sludge in your mouth, which is it gives you like a tingling sensation. It's almost as like the moment you stick your finger in it, it's like the end of your finger fell asleep. And as you go to touch it to your mouth, Kanadin, yeah.
Excuse me.
And I point to the dissolved spoon on the floor.
Well, but that wait a minute now. That's a metallic structure. There's no guarantee that the chemical interaction between tin or metal or whatever that's made of is going to have the same effect on my flesh and blood body.
You see a drip of it.
Let's be scientific about it.
You see a drip that like you smacked fly off of his finger. It lands on a carrot, and it seems to just dissolve that part of the carrot in half.
Yeah, you might want to wipe
I'm
your
not made
finger
of
off. And I
carrots.
find like a napkin or like a towel on the table and just toss him that.
Oh yeah, how's my finger? Is my finger corroded?
No, your finger's fine.
Oh, see, not a carrot.
Well, I mean, it still feels like it's asleep, but like it's not.
But it's not burning.
It's not dissolving. It's not burning. It doesn't hurt. There's no pain.
Yeah.
Well,
But that's
Is there
fine.
is there a fifth floor? I mean,
There is a floor above the one you're on. Yes.
but you can't see it.
You've never been up there, so I've never revealed it. No. And you have River and probably Cognan at some point has mentioned that it is Cognan's room, and he has not given. He's explicitly said, "Please don't go up there," in the past, as it is his personal bedroom. I mean, you do hear some like rummaging around up there. You think you may hear like the sound of like wood moving, and then Cognan comes walking back down the stairs, sort of ignoring you, Bellarmine, and then coming back down into the lab. I assume, Babbage, you're both over by the stew.
Mm-hmm.
This time I follow.
Okay. Bellarmine comes downstairs. Alright. Cognan has like a pile. You see him with like a pile of books and like scrolls and what seems to be some scribbled notes. He sort of like clears some space off the table, plops some stuff down.
Johnny 5 need input.
Yeah. So and like he's sort of like scrummaging through
We'll
things
disassemble.
for a minute. You notice that some of it seems to be. You notice like there's a cover of a book that seems to be something to the effect of like one of the names of the like local school, like the school that's supposed to be out of Vineholm. One of the like 2 wizarding schools. The name of it is escaping the DM's mind at the moment, but your characters.
The Pig Pimples.
No, but close enough.
Swine Boils?
The name of a school? Okay.
Well, it's not Hogwarts. It would have to be something similar.
Oh, good lord, I'm slow. Alright. Alright, where did I put...
Javelina jaundice? I don't know. I mean,
is that... No.
Sow mumps.
I love that.
Jeez.
Sow mum.
If I ever did like a College Humor-esque sketch set in a fake Harry Potter-inspired world, the school's name would be Sow Mumps.
I don't know why that's so entertaining, but thank you.
Woofers.
I know. Mommy just got home, and Doc is down there barking. And Jenna's like, well, I want to be down there barking. But no, you sit up here and be good girl.
No, you did that already.
Reminds me of the Boy Scout skit you used to do, where you would say, Raskin Bobbins.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. I realize I should have thrown these in the handouts ahead of time. Can I... So, okay. Scrummaging through some notes, he doesn't seem to be making much sense of... You can't make sense of what he's really trying to find, but at one point he just sort of stops, seems to be frustrated, sort of plops the stuff back on the table.
What you're describing to me in that sketch sounds like what was supposed to be rumored if basically a break in the plains. You said it was a pillar that goes like through the ground, like far into the island, right?
Yeah, it looks like it went way deeper than like where the ground would be if we were in the sky. It seemed to go directly through existence. So breaking the plane seems congruent with what I was observing.
Right. So
He ponders for a moment.
now this is just theory. However, I'm wondering if the same event that broke through the plane is the same cataclysmic event that has caused this islands to fly into the sky over 100 years ago. If it's some sort of break into the astral plane. And then you said you talked to
Enter Dragon's name.
that also seem to be in prison somewhere that you could only see through a portal?
Yeah, not sure if related, although likely. And you know, it's interesting. We were at the mana mine, which was a source of mana crystal. I have the giant mana crystal that was used to levitate the airship. There's a connection between the mana crystals and levitation We've got a giant locus of energy, pillar going through creation, all of Icanus in the sky. I gotta think one's like a scaled up version of the other.
I think. So, I'm trying to find it among my notes, and I'm not having luck at the moment, but there were rumors that Uldor, the man who used to own this tower,
Yeah, the tower, yeah.
was trying to create some sort of mana-infused battery? But it's possible that something went wrong that caused this catastrophic malfunction, but I'd be guessing at best. Uldor had an office down in brain map. When he wasn't doing all this work in his tower, he had an office in Stone Grove.
Yes.
So it's very
Alrighty.
possible you could find more information or notes with relation to, if we can possibly understand what he was trying to do, maybe we can figure out what exactly happened up there in the mana mine. And I'll try to dig into my own notes more to make some more sense of this. In the meantime, I think one of the other missing artifacts that was creating the mythals was also down in Strongmont, referring to the old notes of the journal you all stole.
So we're back on main quest track. We should have gone south instead of north. Understood. To the moors we go.
Is a thought. I suppose we can sleep on it, but that's where I would propose we go from this point. If maybe we can find out more of what Uldor was thinking.
I'm all for gathering more information, and Uldor seems to be a man who had all the information. So, you had me at information.
Excellent. It would be. I mean, if Vineholm is still there, what was the condition of Vineholm? What did you see or find while you were there?
It's cold. It's very cold. People frozen statues of people. And very cold.
Ugh.
I spent a lot of my time in Vineholm hiding in a trunk, so it may not be the best source of information.
Hiding from
Yeah,
what?
not a whole lot of life, not a whole lot of friendly life there. Mostly people who wanted to kill us.
Oh, right, you said agents of...
Yeah, they were trying to steal the amulet back. I gave them a fake, and we escaped.
They're probably not too happy about that.
No.
Oh yeah, I should mention that.
No, I suppose not. Oh my.
I'm pretty crafty in a pinch.
It's great
Clearly.
fake.
Looking to the knowledge cleric who's now in the room.
Did you have anything else to add to the very fantastical story I've heard here?
Hey now, don't
Yeah.
imply that it wasn't true.
It was a pretty complete, except I think we destroyed the ability to communicate in that temporary mirror, perhaps, that we were working with.
Yeah, I did mention that somebody broke it. Not gonna mention any names.
And I raised my hand and say, "It was me."
That's unfortunate. I suppose it would have been nice to be able to commune with some
Said higher creature.
Okay.
And we don't know how high that creature was, or was it a fake? We don't know.
Where's... I have too many maps. There we go. Okay.
Too many maps.
Actually, Bellarmine, I remember in one of your many searches of books Hold on a second. Give me DM, thinking. Yeah, I had actually given you a map of Stone Grove way back when, as I recall. Or at least I said you had one. I'll have to.
It's right here.
Yes.
We also have one of Vineholm.
Excellent. Okay, so the map of Stone Grove has like it's basically there's a small lake. There's most of the village is basically built around the lake, but then to the north side, basically up a hill, are like 2 temples and what was essentially the school. The library is located in the school, and that's where Cognan basically explains like his library would have been actually his library would have been in a secret room underneath one of the wings of the classroom, so you'll have to find it.
Well, that would be the dungeons part. We've already met the dragon.
I mean, the dragon was in a dungeon, to be fair, of sorts. Okay. With that, he kind of just like picks up all of his stuff, all the paperwork, kind of just drops it over here in this corner, and then like just sort of like still kind of shoves you both out of the way to get back to the pot, and starts basically like takes a wooden spoon this time, takes it, sips it, and then he goes completely still.
Like Petrificus totalis?
He seems extreme. Like his it's like all his muscles are tense.
It's a taser potion. I'm gonna scoop some of this stuff up and put it in a glass vial.
What are you scooping it with?
Fair.
Take a wooden spoon from his hand.
Well, I will first attempt to use the glass vial itself and scoop some of it up without making contact with the liquid with my fingers.
Okay. It gets into the glass.
Does it react to the glass?
Handy.
The glass seems to be just fine with it.
Phenomenal. I'll put a stopper in the glass after filling it up and keep that in my inventory. It's nothing like some petrification arrows down the line.
The stopper, not so much.
The stopper, not so much.
Oh, wait, hold on. No. The stopper would also be made out of wood. Wood's fine. Nope, you're good. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, cork is wood.
What are you calling it in your inventory?
I'm gonna put it in my inventory as a vial of, or I'll just call it a petrify potion, and you can tell me what it's actually defined as.
Okay.
And while he's doing this, I'm kind of like over at Cognan, just like kind of prodding him, see if I can get any reaction. Is he alive? Do I sense breath?
He is breathing. You do sense, like, if you put your hand in front of his mouth, like, you could feel breath. There does seem
Can
to
he
be
move his eyes? Is he looking around?
His eyes look glazed over, like he's not there. And then after about a minute, he sort of like jolts back to consciousness, and he's like, "Oh, this will be good for the end. This will be good for the annual celebration." And then starts like pouring it into like larger bowls. And offers one to each of you. Like, would you like to give it a try? It's quite delicious.
I look over at Babbage. I stopped you before. Here's your opportunity.
I was just scientifically determining the outcome, and I think we've figured that out.
What happened to you when you ate it there, Cog?
What do you mean?
You froze up for a bit. Looked like your brain crashed. Had to reboot.
What, really? At which point he goes, takes the spoon, like, takes another sip, and then, like, with the spoon in his mouth, like, stone again.
It's like click. He's fast forwarding through his life to the next minute.
And my
So,
my mass healing word didn't help him. Huh?
No, he just, I mean, he's not, no, your attempt to, like, so you try to heal him with magic, he looks like he had some, like, scrapes on his elbows that from, like, maybe, like, digging around in the dirt that seem to have healed up, but beyond that, no, he's still just, like, gone.
So, all right,
Interesting.
I'll just stand around until he comes to.
Yeah, that would be very handy in a sprayer.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean. Like, he just comes to. Again, oblivious to the passage of time.
Yeah,
All right.
the problem, Bellarmine, is in order to create a true atomizer, you would need to utilize some sort of vulcanized rubber for hosing and the actual bladder to create the puffing pressure. And this stuff appears to corrode through things that are not made of glass or wood. So I'd be concerned with the mechanism.
Maybe a glass syringe with some holes in the end of it.
But what are you creating the plunging action of the syringe with?
The mated surface.
So again,
of
he
the
offers.
glass
So he's off as the two of them are debating over how to weaponize
I'll take
this.
the bowl. I'll say, okay, you feel fine, right? Nothing. You seem all right.
Yes, it's quite tasty.
Okay.
Well, good. This gives us another minute to chit chat.
So upon that, you freeze and you see Cogniz like, oh, and sort of like snaps in front of your fingers. Zach, what is the first taste you've ever remembered?
Difficult
wow,
question, Mike.
Yeah, wow, what an interesting question too.
Sweet Nighter.
Son of a gun. I'm trying to think back to my childhood. Wow, that is existential.
Sweet Nighter for cutting teeth.
Very good.
Maybe, the first taste that I have a memory associated with
Okay.
would be artificial grape, because when I was a
Let me
child,
that, baby. Me too. I was gonna say the same thing.
I was sick and ate some whatever grape Dimetapp, whatever grape flavored medicine was, and it came back up. So I tasted it twice, and
So for a moment, like Canadian's equivalent to that memory, it's almost like you're living it again for like half a second, and then
Mother.
whereas like, and it's almost like the taste isn't the grape itself, but just the feeling of nostalgia and comfort and warmth that comes with that. But then like the moment you realize that you have this moment, it's gone, and you've come to. Like, for you, the moment of time was like half a second, whereas Canadian's like, or not Canadian, Cognin's like you come to, and Cognin's like in your face.
oh, that was
Good, right?
wow. Babbage, you gotta try this.
Well, now I must. Like, I basically just stop mid-sentence about how a rubber O-ring in the syringe would get corroded, and I take a sip.
I mean, basically what I described to Cognin. You, like, again,
Yeah.
Canadian, you see Babbage, like, just go stone. Like, basically, like, someone had just, like, taken a picture of him, like, mid-stip, like, with, like, the spoon in his mouth. But again, you experience some, like, it tastes, but it's somehow evoking, like, nostalgia of, like, childhood wonder and innocence, and in your case, grape, or whatever Babbage's equivalent to this would be.
But again, as quickly as you feel it, it's gone. And again, for you, it felt like half a second to a second, like a moment, whereas for everybody else, a minute went by.
That was cool, huh?
I haven't had old Mame stew since I was knee-high to a grasshopper.
As I said, delicious. Although the
Yep.
freezing aspect of it's new. I'm wondering if that's... Oh, the Yeti fur. Interesting. Must be
Say,
careful with that.
Cognan,
Yes?
could you, if you had access to more Yeti fur, could you either increase potency or increase duration of that freezing effect?
I don't. Experimentation would be necessary. Unfortunately, I've used most of the various different spices and...
Well, listen, I don't care about any of the flavors or the memory-inducing aspect of it. I'm focused solely on that freezing aspect. If we could bolster that into some sort of
The friendliest taser ever.
atomizing capability or potentially an injectable, that could be of great interest to us.
He looks kind of confused and almost offended at the suggestion. He's like,
If you want me to do something with this that isn't for your taste buds? I don't... Why would you inject... That's just...
like, it's almost like the concept has
me-
never occurred to him.
Let me reiterate what we were just talking about. We regularly encounter things that want us dead, and in order for me to return back here and tell you about them, I need to not die. So this
Yes,
could be a
clearly you
way.
have lots of resources available to you to stay alive.
Sure, and the more the merrier. And if you could assist us to this end with a craft you already are very skilled in, think of it as another application of your many talents that would lead to us staying on this side of the earth.
I don't...
He seems extraordinarily hesitant at this.
If nothing else, consider it a scientific experiment.
But it's not cooking food. You want to use
Oh,
food
it's
for
cooking
things
food.
besides food.
Listen, have you ever gotten a cut and used foodstuffs to sanitize it?
No, we have magic for that.
Only recently. Thanks to us putting our lives on the line.
He just, you could tell he seems very visibly uncomfortable with the idea of using his food
Kid,
for anything
honestly,
besides
I
food.
could go on and on. I could explain every natural phenomenon, the sky, the trees, the ground. I mean, that's just Babbage messing around.
Do you have a tattoo on your back? That's your backstory? Moving on. Moana. All right.
Anyway, it was just a thought. We'd see. We'll see. In any case, I'll take this. Thank you very much. Oh, wait, he was frozen. He didn't see me do that.
Oh, no,
Does
he
he
didn't.
continue? Does he continue to experiment with his potion?
He continues to spoon it out into bowls. He seems to be gathering several more bowls than the people in the room.
Did he try any more of it?
At the moment,
For
no.
the bowl? What are the bowls made out of?
Wood.
Yeah, they're all wood bowls.
Is he preoccupied?
At the moment, yes. And with that,
All right.
I'm going to temporarily pause us.
That's fine. Been a lot of not Jeff.
Yes. Hefe, you. Going back to... I have, again, too many maps. Oh, Jeff, have I been dragging you around to the different places this whole time? Or have you been on the north wall this whole time?
No, I was in Cogden's tower.
Okay.
I mean, I saw it, but
Gotcha. Okay. So you've been going...
honestly,
Sorry, go ahead.
if this is just filler, like, because this whole thing with Cogden and the stew has been very interesting, just assume that Grimbeard and I have been harmonizing a song similar to that scene from Dumb and Dumber when they go mock, yeah, yeah, and we've just been doing that to pass the time. So,
Do you remember how he sang during the performance episode? Or like the play episode?
no,
It's been too long. Okay.
been literal multiple years.
Okay. If you all right, so you attempts to sing at one point. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm saying this. It's not like I just start singing. It like organically evolves. He has his monosyllabic expression, as do I, and then it's just kind of.
Because the moment, if anything, I mean, if you're trying to have this happen organically, you become very surprised if at any point you start to get it something musical, because he goes from being like gruff and monosyllabic to like full-blown opera singer. Like, he just starts. I think I had a recording of his. Let's see, do I have? No, not anymore. Or at least I don't have it in here. No, I just have the two hymn pianos. I think I was trying to remember. I was trying to find a file that wasn't like something I'd blatantly be stealing that'd be copyright.
Well, an opera singer like the sad clown singing opera from Seinfeld.
No, more like no. It's like I'm gonna butcher this guy's name. Luciano Pavarotti.
Oh,
Like full blown, all belting, yeah, like just absolutely like stunning the skill that's coming out of this dwarf. It just so that kind of throws you off. Who's a little thrown off. It actually draws some attention. Like you get a couple of wayward people from the town that like sort of walk up to the wall from further in when he starts singing.
would this be a skill-based check on his part?
I mean,
It'd be a performance check.
it would be. Hold on.
I cast guidance, and I keep casting it every 59 seconds.
Very good.
He's just trying to make it better. That's all.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't enhance this with any musical talents of my own, but I can make his better. And I have a quarterstaff. No, actually, no, I still have the quarterstaff, right? It's the armor that's being enchanted.
Yes.
So I'm using the quarterstaff to hammer to the beat.
All right. Hold on. Yeah. No, you're doing good. Yeah. No. I mean, it's getting. You've basically unintentionally sort of created this impromptu concert now. With Grimbeard sort of trying to, seeming to attempt to harmonize off of what little you're giving him.
Oh, okay. While that's happening and guidance is perpetually cast,
Yep.
I'm using Thorn Whip to, at the right musical moment, to accentuate the beat.
Very good. So you now have an opera scene that's going on. He seems to be improvising a little bit, and you are providing the percussion that is the beat to the sound. And you hear, you're gathering a small crowd of NPCs is basically
As people show up, I say, "Welcome, one and all, to the flight of the Ukrais."
Oh, wonderful. So yeah, that's happening. So this goes on for about 15 minutes before there's sort of like, we'll say about 10 minutes. Nope, that's the wrong map. Go to the one that says players. Before Dr. Him sort of like moves his way through this crowd of like 10 people. And at that, Grimbeard sees him and then just suddenly like seizes up and stops. What? Hold on. What voice did I have for him? Grimbeard, my dear fellow. you normally save your voice for performances, and on watch. What are you doing? This is extraordinarily and highly unprofessional. And why are you up there?
Who is on watch?
What? Hat Grimbeard, you're okay with this? To which he looks confused, looks at you. Him. You talk him watch.
There's no
Well?
problem here. You see, well, Grimbeard and you were performing for the good people of the town, who and some devil beast with wings have been keeping watch far better than eyes of a dwarf for a fearbog. And with that, I have Who come land on my shoulder.
Grimbeard. You
This
know.
town has never been watched more closely.
Okay. Grimbeard, can I have a moment? And the two of them sort of walk over to the corner here. Him walks up the stairs. There seems to be some whispering that goes on back and forth through the discussion. The sort of general mode you see from Grimbeard seems to just get sullen. Gentle Him at this point walks along the wall up to you, and is like, I appreciate your service to the town, Gentle You, but I'm afraid, well, we are all set now. Thank you. You are free to go about your evening. Feel free to go back to the town. I will assist with Grimbeard for the rest of the evening. Up here on the watch. At which case, the crowd at this point just kind of seems sullen and like walks away, and like basically is dispersed at this point.
You are a buzzkill, and you will gladly walk away.
Okay.
Sad Hulk music.
Killing bees again.
No bees were harmed.
In this episode. Where do you go? You.
I just wander, dejected. It's my first time.
He wasn't joking about sad Hulk music. He's just on the side of the highway.
All right.
Where do I think my friends are? Would I have any idea?
I mean, for the most part, they go back and forth between. I mean, at night they've been either back at the Singing Spade or Cognan's Tower.
All right. I'm gonna head to the tower and go sulk in the basement on my couch.
Okay. I'll assume you come in through the basement door, so you don't actually come in through the lab.
I mean, yeah, that would be the shortest distance from the gate.
So you were on your couch. Okay.
I need a 5-minute BRB.
5-minute BRBI. Okay. No, you guys are several floors up. You wouldn't have heard. Probably the door opening and closing. Okay. Actually, where are you? Oh, Bellarmine's back in his chair. Okay. Actually, okay. So Bellarmine, are you researching anything else particular at this moment in the library?
Just trying to gather all the information I can, zipping through, skim reading book after book after book.
Book after book after book. Okay. A lot of it's history of the world that you know of, various different like opinion pieces on it. Lots of various different recipe books, several with like pages ripped out, like notes taken inside. Some of them with just absolutely ridiculous things that you would ever combine together, at least in your knowledge of how cooking works. Some sort of like mystery novels. There seems to be
What
like an
time is-
entire like shelf dedicated to basically like fiction of like history, like various different mystery novels of like a like Hercule Poirot or Sherlock Holmes style.
And those I just, keep putting back, keep putting back.
Got it.
I'm
Okay.
looking
Yeah,
for.
you
I'm
kind of
looking
figure out
for
that's a
data.
whole section.
Now, what time of the day is it?
You're past twilight at this point, so it's evening.
All right, so it must be prayer time again, right?
Yes, that sounds appropriate. So he's praying. Okay. Um, Kanadin, doing anything in particular in this moment?
No, so we're still in with Cogden, correct?
Yeah,
Where we
he
are?
seems to be focused on so he's made several bowls of his food at this point. He's not playing with it anymore. He almost seems like he actually seems to be more like gentle with the bowls now that he's seen what happens to the two of you. But at this point, he seems to collect he takes one and then goes downstairs. Is only gone for about 15 seconds and then comes back up, grabs another 5 or 6 bowls, and then says,
If you'll excuse me, I need to go provide nourishment to the various different watches as well as the folks in the garrison tonight. So, I'll be back in roughly an hour or so. If you are still here, I'm happy to discuss further, but I must see to my responsibilities in the town.
and with that, he carefully walks out the door. Yeah, with several bowls of food.
Okay. Do I see any clean wooden spoons lying around? On the table, perhaps.
It's they mostly seem clean. Yeah,
Yeah, fine.
there's
Good enough.
various ones scattered about. Yes.
I look at Babbage, and then I grab a spoon and take another bite.
Yeah. You freeze for a minute. It's a different memory. At least you get the haze of a slightly different memory this time. I mean, similar nostalgia feeling kind of deal. You get this like you think you may be like remembering the first time you ever bit into like an apple. Maybe it's like a slightly as an older as a child, but then yeah, so that happens and time fests, and then time proceeds forward.
That is some intense stuff, man. I better leave this alone. While he's gone, I'm gonna head back to the pub.
Okay. For the sake of argument, I'm gonna assume that Babbage is more just investigating. Okay, so the party is completely split at this point. Kanadin's going back to the pub.
Yeah, I'll probably. What you said? It's like evening now, right? I'll
Yeah,
probably
no,
just,
it's evening. Yeah.
yeah. I'll head back. I'll have some dinner at the pub and then crash for the night. Because then in the morning I get my dagger, so I'm probably pretty excited for that.
Yes. Okay. Very good. Okay. I mean, at this point, I just want to. All right. So are you basically crashing there for the evening on the couch?
Saddened and
Dejected.
depressed. All of the above, yes.
Okay. Very good. Bellarmine, I assume you're just gonna fall asleep on the couch, just reading as much as you can.
Precisely.
Okay. I don't know what Jim's gonna want to do,
We're
but for the purposes
already
of
into prayer time, so that's next.
right, and you're praying, yes. So your evening vespers, or yeah, okay. No, you've all left. Okay. Well, we can always rewind time if Jim wants to do more stuff at some point. All right. The for the sake of storytelling, Zach, the singing spade is a bit livelier this evening.
Oh.
Several of the There's like a couple. There's actually like two people that are like playing like duets on the piano. Some of the local townsfolk. You recognize. Let's see. Lyko is there, as well as Dolan's behind the bar, and then you have Lyko's like the lion person. You got Dolan, Dimitri, and um, anyway, various of my NPCs. Julie and Teg are all there. So it seems probably lively. There's actually like some like drinking songs going on around the table. Um, so yeah, it's a lively crowd. Up to you if you want to join in or just head to bed.
No, I'll have dinner. I'll do a little bit of mingling.
Okay.
Kind of just basic, hello, nothing, not getting into too much there because it's been a day. So,
yes.
uh,
Okay. Evening comes and goes. Morning arrives.
well, hang on. How about this? What
Yes.
about? Do I hear any talk of the town? Do I hear anybody talking about anything related to Revik or anything related to anything?
Do you bring up Revik? Or
Nope.
are you just eavesdropping?
Nope. Eavesdropping.
No. Everything seems actually. If anything, it seems like people are excited the fact that they've been sort of slowly been experimenting with magic a little bit more. So you see like people actually like using prestidigitation a little bit to add to their performances. One person uses one of the tag actually seems to use like a reduce. Someone seems to use a reduce spell that allows, or no, in a large spell that allows tag to be able to like walk up full sized up to the bar and get like two giant things of mead that are two normal sized things of mead, but like she's gigantic and then goes back down and it's reduced back down to size. So people are just sort of using magic more. It seems to be just exactly. There's the occasional. Oh yeah, there's like people are experimenting with like taking mead and like dropping a good berry in there. Your other character would be more concerned about this than your current one. So yeah, it's more just
some sort of
nothing about like dangers outside of town. It's all very like pleasant, lively, upbeat. Yeah, no, nothing about. In fact, part of you is almost like annoyed at the fact that like you have just survived a whole bunch of danger, and like I mean you're kind of proud of yourself with your like combat prowess for that you've like survived everything you had, but like this group of people seems just totally oblivious.
I'm back. Oh no, what did I miss?
Jeff is asleep in his couch in the basement. Canadin went off to Babbage. No, Cognan. Good lord. Cognan took a bunch of bowls and basically went off to go feed the guards on watch as well as the garrison, is what he said. And then Canadin went off to the bar to go basically have dinner. Yeah, and eavesdrops on the town.
Yeah.
So what are you doing with your evening, Babbage?
I didn't realize it was evening already, but that makes sense. I am so Cognan left. Yeah, I'm alone in the tower.
As well, Bellarmine is upstairs in the library somewhere.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna go through the tower.
You also watched him deliver a bowl down one floor. Or you seen to go downstairs with a bowl of the stew and then came back upstairs like a couple of minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
Like a minute later.
I'm gonna go through the kitchen room and any other rooms I'm aware of, and collect all the mana crystals that were in the sconces in the wall, since they're no longer necessary to inhibit the erratic flow of magic.
Interesting. Okay. So you grab 4 from the lab/kitchen sconces. Where do you go from there?
Do I remember them being in every floor?
No.
Well, do I remember them being on any other floors?
No, only the lab and kitchen is basically the only place that you.
All right. Well, I'll take 4 free mana crystals. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now what are you doing?
I'm gonna go to bed
Where?
in my downstairs basement bed area.
Ah. Okay. So you go downstairs. You pass through the room that is River's room. She appears to be writing in a diary of sorts in her desk. You move past what you know is Cuddle's room, aka the pet owl bear.
Mm-hmm.
And then you are moving down the stairs and notice a rather sulky and sad Furblog on a couch, who of course just went away from the screen.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, you.
Just eating some pizza.
Hey, you. What's the matter, big guy? You want to go to McDonald's?
You doesn't want to talk about it.
All right, well, I respect your privacy and desires for secrecy. But, you know, I'm here if you need to talk.
You is very grateful for good friends. You is annoyed, but not at friends. So you will go to sleep.
Paladid sort of like
Mhm.
walks up to your hand and just like pats it in an attempt to be comforting you.
Yeah, it just repeats a their motion without really knowing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then who comes down and pats Paladin with a little wing, even though the token's not on here.
Yeah, miss. Yeah.
But yeah, that happens.
Paladin then attempts to hug your leg.
Adorable. He's a cute little feller. Wish I could make more than one of them at a time. Love to have a little army of dingbots.
I think you are onto something.
The DM is grateful that the mechanics do not let him do that.
No, I'm just waiting for the next level.
All right, so you both go to sleep in your basement, I guess it sounds like.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. About an hour into the evening, let's see. So Bella, I know Babbage, you have like a hammock back here, so you'd be over here. Okay. Cognan comes walking in and like ramming on it, like knocking hard on the door. Oi!
Ramming on my door?
Yeah.
To the basement?
Yeah. But like,
Of
so
the
you're
tower
like
that
a
he
little
lives in?
entrance, like the little entrance area where he is now.
Oh, the secondary door.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Can I help you?
Yeah, you can give me back my mana crystals.
Oh, sure. I just assumed they were unnecessary, but certainly. I hand them back.
Kind of eyes you. They were also, believe it or not, they were also instrumental in some of the methods of my cooking, so I appreciate if you wouldn't just take things out of my tower without asking in the future. Thank you very much.
Makes sense to me.
And with that, he leaves you alone and goes back upstairs.
I go back to sleep.
Very good.
Well, it's worth a try.
I do give him unless he protests, the smallest 4 of the 8 I have.
So he'll go upstairs, and then after like 5 minutes, comes like barreling back downstairs. He's like, "Hey, give me the same 4 I had back. These are not the same 4 you took."
Sorry. Apologies. I didn't realize there was a difference. They just had them all in a big sack of Rooney. I just grabbed 4 of them. Let me see if I can sort through them. Take them out. You tell me which ones they were.
He. Hold on a second. What's the. Here we go. Hold on. So he pulls out a. He pulls out a like a pan, but it's almost as, like, but it's almost as if like, but he's holding it backwards with the handle sticking up, and it's almost as if the back of it has been like parts of it have been carved out, and sort of like a tuning fork. He just sort of like holds it up to each one, and eventually picks out the 4 that you took, and then like sticks them in his pocket and says, "Good day, good evening to you." Clearly annoyed, and then
Have
goes
a good
back
night,
upstairs. What? Sorry, give me a second. What in the world? Oh no, it's sorry, stuff going on in roommates. We'll deal with that later. Maybe. Okay. Okay. Well, actually, so this may. I know we haven't gotten very far, but well, no, we'll say it's. Let's say, would this be a good stopping point, or we want to keep going for another 40 minutes, roughly, to the group?
I think that's gonna be your call.
Okay.
I feel
actually,
like
no. I want to know what
I
direction.
feel like playing 40 minutes of the next day would be kind of like an awkward start and stop.
Well, I would like to understand how you all intend to get there, but
I mean, I think we should just fly, but fly not over the abyss.
fair. Okay. All right. Yeah, I agree with the idea that like 40 minutes of just sort of the morning. This is a good. Is the timing of it's not ideal, but it is a good stopping point plot-wise. So we'll say.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
We
You're
know
all
where we're gonna
asleep.
be heading.
Yeah. Yeah. Cognan will have more information in the morning. So yeah, with that, hopefully you all had fun. I'm gonna say goodbye to the internet. Since now this is a good stopping point, and we'll move on to the next chapter of the story. So with that,
The internet.
goodbye, the internet.